What's going on? This is a Holt Haptic that was sent in from my buddy Jay, and it is for sale. So we'll get that out of the way right now. I will put the description, in the description, I will put the price. That way, if we change the price, if it gets sold, I can mark it as sold. I can change the price. It's no big deal. That's why I don't say the prices here. Usually I just put them down below. So, but this is how it came. So this is not just a commercial, but I want to talk about this knife. I'm not going to do the full specs because I've done a video on almost this exact same knife when these were first released. And I will link to that down below so that you can go watch that video. And the one that I'm going to link down below was my brother's knife, and I got a hold of that knife, I think, about the same exact time that they were hitting the market. My brother was in a group, and he got some special early access to the knives. And so he, of course, sent it to me so that I could film it. And I was one of the early videos of the Holt Haptic. So you can go check out that video for all the specs and all of that stuff and kind of my initial thoughts, which may be different in this video than my initial thoughts. I did not go back and watch that video, so we'll see. So what all the Holt Haptics come with is they have an adjustable detent, which we'll talk about. So it comes with the very small hex key for that. And it also comes with an RF or an NFC card. So you download this app from the App Store or Google, whatever platform you have, right? I have iPhones. So I go to the Apple iStore, I download this app, I hold this near my phone. I record with my phone. So I would hold it near the phone, and it would pull up the knife number, the anodization color, like it would pull up all of the, not the specs of like the size and the weight, and not those specs. Also comes with some stickers and a business card. Okay. But it would pull up the color of anodizing that they use with the with the technical stuff, it's such and such volts, it's such and such a thing, right? It would come with all of those types of things all embedded on this card, which is pretty cool. It's a great way to know if it's authentic, if it's, all of that stuff, right? And it's just a cool electronic way to do that, which is actually kind of better than a certificate of authenticity, because we could forge a certificate of authenticity. It's really hard to forge an electronic database, right? So that's a very, very cool thing that they came up with. I don't know who else is using something like that. I don't know whether it's in the knife community or any community. I don't know who may or may not be using that. So like I said, this is the Holt Haptic, and let's zoom in. They do a really nice job in a lot of respects. The machining, the milling, the hand work to fit these together is just really amazing. I love the fact that it's absolutely sterile blade, other than the blade steel here on the end. That's it. That's the only branding anywhere on the knife. And I love that. So many makers, so many companies, they feel like they've got to put their name on the pocket clip. They have to have their logo here. They have to have the blade steel and a serial number and the designer's logo and a whole bunch of stuff on the knife that I think is unnecessary. Okay? So again, I'll do some size comparisons on this, but I mean, I guess I can pull out a ruler really quick and just tell you roughly what the size is of this, just because in case you don't know what the Holt Haptic is. It's about 7 3/8 overall with like a 3 1/4 inch blade. Okay. Super pocket friendly, super nice. I'll give you a weight really quick. It takes 2 seconds because it's in the drawer on my table here. 3.7 ounces. So it's in that ounce an inch range, which I know a lot of people think is, optimal for EDC. So there's a couple of things that I don't understand. Well, there's one thing that I don't understand. And I don't know that I can show it very well, but if we look inside, you will see, it's going to be hard to focus and shine the light. See if I can do it this way. There is a hex head down in there, right? You see the nub, which is the detent, and then right next to that is a little hex head. That's the adjustable detent. But what I have not figured out, and I didn't find on anybody else's videos, is how do you get to it? You can't reach into that while the knife is together and turn it to adjust the detent. I mean, I can get to the hex head, but it's at such an angle I can't get to it. Even if I unlock it and I push it to the side, it's still not quite going to go. I mean, maybe if you forced it in. So I'm not sure how you adjust the detent on this one without disassembling the knife. Well, that's a pain. I mean, it's not a pain to disassemble the knife necessarily. But what do? You disassemble it, you tweak it, you put it back together. Oh, I went too far. I didn't go far enough. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm missing something. And if I'm missing something, please leave me a comment down below. On the Holt Spectre, it was a frame lock, the first few versions. You just adjusted it through the gap in the frame. And I just shockingly don't have a frame lock on my table. I got one right over here. So on the Spectre, right about in here, there was a hex head. And so you would stick the tool through this and you would adjust the detent right here with the knife, open or closed, and you could play with it right then. Okay? On the later model, the V4 Spectres that were liner locks like this, I'm not sure how you did it either. What I can tell you is this detent is very good, and I don't know that I would need to adjust it anyway, nor did I need to adjust it on the Spectre that I owned or any of the Spectres that I had loaned in from my brother or others. Okay? Because the detent is kind of perfect from the Holts. Okay? The other thing that I personally don't like, much like on the Skiff Drifter, is the flipper tab shape and placement on my finger. To me, it's very uncomfortable. Now, I know it's subjective, but I've heard other YouTube reviewers talk about the Holt being the best, hands down, the best of all time flipper ever made. Wow, that's a bold statement. I can't make that statement. I think the flipper tab is extremely uncomfortable, and my finger is sore from just the flipping that you've seen on this video. That's me, okay? Everybody's mileage will vary, as they say, right? What I can tell you is this sub $50 Kubi has a very comfortable and very awesome flipper and flipping action. It doesn't drop shut. The closing action is nowhere near the haptic, but I think it flips better. It's definitely more comfortable. The Honey Badger, way more comfortable as a flipper, and flips just as good. Again, does not have the closing action of the haptic. So they have the drop shutty closing action down. Super awesome. Not gonna lie. And it has a nice flip and a nice sound. I think it sounds great. I do like that. The flipper tab, to me, is uncomfortable. Everything else about the knife is pretty great. I prefer the Spectres better. And I think the market does too. I have seen Holt Spectres go for sale and sit. They certainly do not command the dollar that the Spectre did. When I sold my Spectre, literally, I had 4 offers on Facebook, or 4 people saying in, or I want it, I'll take it, whatever, in literally 5-7 minutes. And it was sold 20 minutes later because the first person wanted an action video. So because I'm a nice guy, I said, sure, give me 5 minutes. So I made an action video and then he passed. So in that particular case, it was person number 3 that actually got it. I don't know. But that sold in 5 minutes. I've seen haptics at lower price take a day or 2 to sell. So I think the public likes the Spectre better. But there's nothing wrong with the haptic. I like the blade shape. I like everything about it other than the flipper tab. And really that's a personal thing, I think. Flipper tab and comfort and stuff is very subjective. I think the packaging is awesome. I like the fact that they kind of wrap it like a present. I think that's very cool. And it's great in the pocket. Comes super sharp. Just, they're great knives. I don't know. Do they live up to the hype that they get? I don't think so. I'm not even sure the Spectres live up to the hype that they get. And they sell for a ridiculous price. So, I don't know. Is the Spectre the Holt's one-hit wonder? Are they going to come out with something new and revitalize themselves? I don't know. The haptic certainly was not as popular or coveted as the Spectre. So, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Again, this is for sale. Thanks, Jay, for sending it in. Price down below, as well as a link to a full review with all of the detailed specs of a haptic that looks very, very similar to this. Thanks a lot, guys. I do greatly appreciate your time. I know I rambled a little bit, but, sometimes that's what happens. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.